What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns climbing back upon Mount Soapbox for another rant. I know. I haven't been on Mount Soapbox for like 2 weeks because I had no ideas and I was doing other videos at the time. But we're back on the mountain of ranting. By the way, you can always submit your rants below in the comment section. Anything you think I should rant about that I haven't done so in previous installments of my rant series, I will be more than happy to look over your comments, your rant suggestions, and include them in future rant videos. Today we're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 Story DLC, or lack thereof. Now, Grand Theft Auto 5 officially came out September 2013 for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Then a year later, November 2014 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and April 15 for PC. Now, here's the thing. Grand Theft Auto 5 is over 2 years old now, and a lot of people that bought Grand Theft Auto 5 bought the game in order to play the campaign, story mode, single play. A lot of people, including myself. It was only a month after Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in October 2013 that I became hooked with Grand Theft Auto Online. But at the same time, I do have a special place in my heart for the story mode of Grand Theft Auto 5. I played it several times, at least twice on the Xbox 360. I played it once on the PlayStation 4 and once over on the Xbox One. I completed the story 4 freaking times now, and all 4 times I've been waiting patiently for a DLC to continue Michael, Franklin, and Trevor's story, because I feel like even though it was a good ending, especially if you go with Plan C or 3 or Death Wish, which I think is the canon ending for the game, I just feel like that of all the games out there that I've played over the years, none have been more worthy of continuing the story with a new DLC more than the story mode for Grand Theft Auto 5. I want to know what happens after the events of what I call the canon version of the story campaign. I want to see how things transpire, which lead Michael, Trevor, and Franklin back together again, maybe with some new peeps or some old peeps, in order to deal with some of the consequences from their actions. But I realize at the same time that there's also a lot of gamers that are playing Grand Theft Auto Online exclusively because they love playing online games. I get that there's gamers out there that have never bothered to even play Grand Theft Auto 5 story past the tutorial, which unlocks Grand Theft Auto Online, which sucks because, honestly, I loved playing Grand Theft Auto Story DLC campaign start to finish all 4 times I played it over the past 2 years. Now, that's the issue. Time is against any idea or possibility of a story DLC ever coming out, because you think by now Rockstar would have had sufficient time to build and put out a story DLC. I realize that they're focused on Grand Theft Auto Online and keeping that going, but at the same time, I feel like that a lot of the gaming community out there within the Grand Theft Auto series would like to see a long-awaited story DLC to Grand Theft Auto 5, which will, unfortunately, I fear, as each week and month passes by, with no information, no news, no anything confirmed from Rockstar, despite rumors that circulate the webs via Twitter and other videos out there. I just think that as long as Rockstar keeps their mouth shut and doesn't say anything regarding a story DLC, despite what we heard briefly mentioned in a news article back in the spring of 2014, they said something about there being a story DLC over a year ago, but then that was the last we ever heard anything regarding a story DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5 from Rockstar. Since then, they've seemed fully committed to continuing to put out new content, updates, DLC for Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that there is not going to be a story DLC. I mean, I would still purchase it and play it if it came out sometime in 2016. And I also recognize the fact that Rockstar takes their time making things, unlike some developers which are forced to rush a product out half-ass. So I get that. And if there is a story DLC, hopefully it's huge, it's epic, it adds a lot of content to both story mode as well as Grand Theft Auto Online, because they are still tied together, even if Rockstar has lately focused more on GTA Online. That would also help Grand Theft Auto Online because, for example, say if the story DLC added a new location like North Yankton are finally added the rest of San Andreas, like San Fierro and Las Venturas, as part of the DLC campaign for Michael, Trevor, and Franklin to venture off to. As I've stated in previous videos, a new location and expansion to Grand Theft Auto Online would always be a welcome addition to the game. But back on topic regarding Grand Theft Auto 5, it has overall sold, 60 million copies around the world. That is a lot of people that have played Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, a lot of them could have been like me, playing it on last gen, then also playing again on current gen, and then there's also some people that also bought it for PC, so you have bought it at least 2 or 3 times. Which you think would be grounds for a story DLC, obviously. Now, I don't know if Rockstar originally had a story DLC idea, and they played of it, they wrote the script out, they had the voice actors voice it, they looked at it, they didn't like it, and then they decided to scrap it. Or it's just taken them this much time to actually build and tweak and get the DLC polished for hopefully eventually coming out sometime in 2016. Or, like I mentioned, maybe there is no story DLC. Rockstar had an idea, but they decided to shelf it in favor of continuing their focus on Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, the question I'm going to ask you, that's right, you, not you, okay, just kidding, I'm asking you as well, is this: do you think that too much time has passed since Grand Theft Auto 5 officially came out in September 2015, or is it more appropriate to go by the April 2015 release on PC as the window, the timetable regarding a potential story DLC? And would you like to see a story DLC to Grand Theft Auto 5, or would you prefer Rockstar continuing to work on new content for Grand Theft Auto Online? Now, bear in mind that the latter is going to continue to happen as long as Rockstar has ideas for Grand Theft Auto Online and people continue to play Grand Theft Auto Online. However, would you like to see a story DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5, or do you feel like that its time has long since passed? Because that's one of the sad realities regarding video games. A lot of people buy a video game, even if it's a great game like Grand Theft Auto 5, they play it for a while, but with each passing week and month, quarter, year, new games continue to come out. So a lot of people that originally bought Grand Theft Auto 5 strictly to play Grand Theft Auto 5 and not Grand Theft Auto Online probably have already moved on to other games. And chances are a lot of them have probably sold or given away their copies of Grand Theft Auto 5. And even if a story DLC comes out sometime in 2016, it's very likely that those gamers may never come back.